join in the expressions of welcome this evening by our President. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Sitaram, everyone. A special welcome to everyone who have joined us tonight to celebrate this auspicious occasion of Krishna Janmashtami. Sitaram to all of our viewers on 103 Facebook Live and all our listeners on 103 FM. Sitaram to all the members of the Ganesh Utsav Foundation who are viewing and joining with us. A special greeting to you all, and may the blessings of Lord Krishna be with all of you always. Sitaram.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sing with me, everybody. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jai Hanuman Gyan Gun Sagar, Jai Kapis Tihu Lok Ujagar, Ram Dute Atulit Baladama, Anjani Putra Pavan Sutanama, Mahabir Vikram Bajrangi, Kumati Nivari Sumati Ke Sange, Kancana Varana Viraj Suvesa, Kanam Kundal Kunchit Kesa, हाथ बचे और ध्वजा बिराजे, सामने मूंज जने वो साजे, शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजग, विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर, प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया, सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जलावा, भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे, लाई सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हर्ष उर लाए,
रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बराए, तुम मम प्रिय बरतै समबाए। सहस बदन तुम रोज से गावे, हस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद शारद सहित अहिसा। यम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते, कवि कोई दे कही सके कहाते। तुमो पुकार सुग्रीव कीना, राम मिलाए राज पर दीना। तुम्हारो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर में सब जग जाना। युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु, नीलो ताहि मधुर फल। प्रभु मुद्रिका मिल मुख माही, जन बिलाज गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत की जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिन पैसारे। सब सुख नहीं तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षत काहू को धरना। आपन तेज समालो आपे, तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासे रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट से हनुमान चुरावे, मन कर्म वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों युग परिताप तुम्हारा, एक प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को भावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चेतन धरणी, अनुमत से सर्व सुख करणी। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो शत बार पाठ कर होई, जूटे वंदे महासुख होई। जो यहाँ परे हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेला, कीजे नाथे दे महादेव। पवन तनय संकट हरणम, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसौ सुरभूप। पवन तनय संकट मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुरभूप। पवन तनय संकट हरणम, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुरभूप। पवन तनय संकट हरणम, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुरभूप। पवन भूप सियापति रामचंद्र की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, बोलो मैं सब संतन की जय.
Let us bow our heads in prayer as we chant mantras of invocation, as we pray. Hari Om Shri Ganesha Namah, Shri Saraswate Namah, Shri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Govindaya Namo Namah. Varnanam Marta Sanganam Rasanam Chandra Samapi Mangalanam Chakaritaro Banne Vani Vinayako Bhavani Shankaro Vanne Shraddha Vishwaswarupino Yabhyaminana Pashanti Siddha Swantastamishwaram. Together. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Mokam Karoti Vachanam Pangulam Gayate Girim Yat Kripat Maham Vanne Paramananda Madhavam. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vrindavan Mere Lal ki jai. We have listened for 21 sessions the glories of Bhagwan Vishnu. To reiterate some of what we have already heard, this evening, as Munilal will say, I will tell you from my head. Let us listen. Narayana, Narayana, Jai Govinda Hare. Narayana, Sri Narayana, Jai Gopal Hare. Sing with me, everybody. Narayana,
Narayana, Jai Govinda Hare. Narayana, Sri Narayana, Jai Gopal Hare.
Mother Earth begins to cry. As Mother Earth begins to cry, Mother Earth, she can no longer stand, she can no longer bear the pain that she's enduring. And so Mother Earth takes the form of a cow. Taking the form of the beautiful cow, Mother Earth makes her way to Vaikuntha, the abode of the Devatas. But Mother Earth stands in front of Bhagwan Vishnu. And as she stands in front of Lord Vishnu, she prostrates to the feet of Lord Vishnu and she says, "Oh Lord Vishnu, I can no longer bear." What she can't bear? She can no longer bear the weight. What weight? The architect, when doing the drawing, doesn't just draw based on what you say. He has to visit the land to see if the land will be able to support the weight of the building that you want to construct. And to see if there will be movement, and if there is movement around, and testing has to happen in the soil, and all sorts of things have to happen to ensure that the foundation will be solid and it will not move when time comes. And so Mother Earth, she stands in front of Lord Vishnu and she's crying. She cannot stand the weight. Not the weight of the building that we put on the earth. Not the weight of us based on how much food we eat. But she cannot stand the weight of sin. Pop. Because the weight of sin has become so unbearable that Mother Earth, she begins to cry. And so crying, she stands in front of Lord Vishnu. And looking at Lord Vishnu, Mother Earth, she's not looking at his foot. She's staring at him straight in his eyes. She means business. She means I need help, I need support, I need aid. I need you to help me. And so gazing at him in his eye, Mother Earth begins to cry and she's telling Lord Vishnu. And you know what she's saying to Lord Vishnu? These are her words. और दुखे दुख हरो हे तुमने हमारो भी दुख हरो गोपाल और दुखे दुख हरो हे तुमने हमारो भी दुख हरो गोपाल ओ बनवारी कृष्ण मुरारी ओ बनवारी कृष्ण मुरारी नाट नगर नंदलाल हमारे दुख हरो गोपाल नाट नगर नंदलाल हमारे दुख हरो गोपाल और दुखी दुख हरो हे तुमने हमारो भी दुख हरो गोपाल. Bhagavan Vishnu says the earth is able to purge itself and to cleanse itself. Just like the rivers and the ocean cleanses itself from time to time, the earth is able to do the same thing. And so he is saying, oh Mother Earth, why did you come? When you have the capability on your own to purify the earth. When Mother Earth becomes upset, you know what happens? She begins to tremble out of anger. She begins to tremble, and that tremble is to wake us up, to shake us up, so that we will remember that there is a force greater than us. And so we ought to change some of our ways and some of our habits and some of our behaviors. But we never wake up. We take it for granted that was a 7.5 and a 4.2. But we never wake up, although we got shaked up. And so Mother Earth, bowing, Mother Earth is telling, you know what she says? जमुना तक परशाम मुरारी आए गोकुल के नर नारी जमुना तक परशाम मुरारी आए गोकुल के नर नारी जमुना की सूते सूते मैं की प्यासी भूते जमुना की सूते सूते मैं की प्यासी भूते आस लगाए सब बेते हैं आस लगाए सब बेते हैं आओ ब्रज के बाल हमारे दुख हरो गोपाल आओ ब्रज के बाल हमारे दुख हरो गोपाल और दुखे दुख हरो हे तुमने हमारो भी दुख हरो गोपाल. She says, sin has become so unbearable that the rivers, the holy rivers, you go to bathe to cleanse your sin. But even the bathing in the river can't purify the sin of man. You know much people go to India to bathe in a river called the Ganga. And they're lazy to bathe in their own bathroom home. Cleanliness is next to Cleanliness is next to godliness. We want to go India to visit a Tirat when there are thousands of temples here, right where we live, and we would never take the opportunity to go. We want to go to the river Ganga in India when there are rivers right here where we live, and we didn't go. And so Mother Earth says that even the waters of the river that has the ability to purify sin is not sufficient. And so I need you to come. Only when you come, the earth will be cleansed. I need you to come. And so begging and pleading like this, Bhagavan Vishnu, feeling the pain. Have you ever felt somebody's pain? Have you ever felt sympathy for somebody because you could know that the experience is a genuine one? You ever sympathized with a fake person before? Hello? We're all Trinidadians. Sometimes we fake for sympathy too. Me too. We're all guilty. And so, Mother Earth, looking at Lord Vishnu, she says, Lord Vishnu, only when you come, the earth will be cleansed. Please, I'm begging you to come.
जमुना तक पर श्याम मुरारी आए गोकुल के नर नारी.
I have an idea. Come in that place where the Jamuna, the river flows. Come in that place.
जमुना तक पर श्याम मुरारी आए गोकुल के नर नारी.
That place is named Gokul. Come in that place named Gokul, where the Yamuna runs. Come in that place, and your name will be Sham. That will be your name, Sham, purifier. The one who will bring peace, the one who will bring calm in the storm, Sham. That is what your name will be. Come. And so I am begging you, Mother Earth is telling, oh come. There is a place in Gokul where you can go. The Yamuna runs through this place. And since you are saying the river could purify, then you know what? Come. There is a river flowing through this place. Come. Your name will be Sham.
जमुना तक पर श्याम मुरारी आए गोकुल के नर नारी. जमुना जी की सूती सूती मेल की प्यासी भूती. जमुना की सूती सूती मेल की प्यासी भूती. आस लगाए सब पे थी आओ ब्रिज के पार. हमारे दुख हरो गोपाल. आओ ब्रिज के पार. हमारे दुख हरो गोपाल. ओ दुखे दुख हरो हे तुमने हमारो भी दुख हरो गोपाल.
Bhagavan Vishnu smiles, hearing. Because Bhagavan Vishnu already knows that this is the plan. Somebody ever tell you the plan that you make? Somebody ever tell you a secret that you tell? Somebody ever come to tell you something that you told them? And they're so that they forget that they hear it from you, so they come to tell you. That's the world that we live in. That's how we are designed. We always try to impress everybody all the time. Instead, we may be depressing them. Depressing instead of impressing. And so Mother Earth giving this pronouncement and this advice, Bhagavan Vishnu smiled. And so Mother Earth seeing this smile, Mother Earth felt a sense of contentment. When you give somebody something and they receive it with a smile, how do you feel? When you give somebody something and they receive it grumpy and grouchy like me, how do you feel? How do you feel? When you look at Jagannath playing the dantal and you look at him, how do you feel? Look at him. Huh? And you look at Sintra. How do you feel? What is the experience? What you give has a great impact on the world around you. So when we have to share, we must only share that which will add positivity. Even a smile will bring a smile in return. Just like a yawn will bring a yawn too. But a yawn is an innocent thing, isn't it? You have no control over that. But a smile you have a control over. So even in your most difficult moments, learn to smile. Learn to smile. You say you take that with a smile, boy. You showed no reaction. You smile. Have you ever seen the multi-vax? Look at Ma Durga behind me. Is she vax? Well, once she's here, she's happy. Look at Ma Durga. Is she vax? Is she upset? Look at Lord Hanuman. Look at you. When last you smiled? The Murti is always smiling and always happy and always ready to receive. And though you're crying, the Murti is still smiling. Though you are celebrating, the Murti is still smiling. Because we have no control over what is happening. And once we program our mind to understand that we have no control, there is a force greater than us in control, then we will take everything with grace. Mother felt a sense of contentment. And so she left and she came back. But when she came back, what will happen? There is a wedding happening. Down on the earth, there is a wedding happening. And so it is happening in the kingdom of a king whose name is Kams. You know how Kams became the king? The Bhagavad Katha says Kams became the king because he was impatient. So his father, whose name was Ugrasen, Kams held Ugrasen and put him in the prison, in jail. And so it appeared as though Ugrasen was missing and there was no king. So they placed Kams to sit on the throne as the king. He robbed himself into being the king. Anytime you cheat to be in the position that you're in, you have to be frightened all the time. Do you know? But anytime you sit there with purity and you work for where you're sitting, then you could sit there proud. I looked at this man and I said, I don't know who is the crazier driver between you and him. And I said, you're practically flying and I hope you don't fly us off the road. In my mind, I'm saying. And then I said, you know what? He's a capable driver. He's capable. Then what got me frightened is that I'm sitting in the car and then the car could lift up and drop down and I'm saying, next thing you know, he spoiled this thing and we can't reach to the prize tonight. A toy. Ugrasen is in the prison and Ugrasen has no clue what is happening and Kams is the king. But there is a great celebration happening. You know what happened? The cousin sister. Listen to what the Bhagavad says. The cousin sister. Is your cousin a sister? Is your cousin like a brother to you? There is a proverb, they say no. Cousin and... Actually, I shouldn't say that. We have no respect for each other. We have no respect for each other anymore. We no longer treat our cousins as though they are our relatives. We treat them as though they are our competition. We always want to compete and be better. That's what we do. Comes, is happy and his happiness knows no bounds. You see, when you're happy, Cindy, you have to be quiet. Because when you're happy, the mind is designed in a way you can't make proper decisions at that time. So you have to remain quiet. Don't talk, don't say anything too much. See, when you're sad, Nigel, you have to not talk. Because the mind is not able to make the right decisions. You see, when you're hungry, Nadira, you don't talk too much. I want to tell you a little secret, everybody. Before you go to shop, make sure and eat first. When you eat first, before you go to shop, whether what you're going to buy, you buy what you need and not what your eye wants. Because anytime you go hungry, you pick up things unnecessary. You know why? Because you're hungry. And so there is impulse buying that happens because of your stomach and your brain. And as a fact, it is the truth. So Sydney, feed him before he goes. Then he will not come with a whole ton of groceries. Comes is happy and his happiness knows no bounds. But Comes' cousin sister is getting married and her name is Devaki. And Devaki is getting married to Vasudev. And so Devaki and Vasudev, they are sitting on a chariot. And Comes, who is the king, he's proud. He's driving the chariot. You ever drive a wedding before? A wedding car? Has somebody ever used your car as the wedding car? And so as Comes is driving the chariot, happy as happy will be. And Akash Vani, a divine voice. Akash is the heaven. Vani means to speak. A voice from the heaven spoke. And listen to how the voice is calling Comes. Oh papi. Oh papi. Oh papi. Oh great sinner. Listen to what he's calling him. Oh papi. Oh great sinner. Why are you so happy? Don't you know? The eighth child of Devaki and Vasudeva will cause your death. Why are you happy? I want to tell you, don't you know? Too much oil, too much fry, too much of anything will cause your death. Do you know? Everything has to be taken in moderation. Everything, a little bit of everything is good. But too much of one thing will cause destruction to you. And so comes all the happiness now turn into sorrow, because you know why? He heard that he's going to die. Who wants to die? Anybody want to die? A few days ago, I'm going to Point 14 to the Yagya, and I'm saying to Sharon and in the car, I say, imagine Gloria is in an ambulance going to that Point 14 hospital. And imagine she has no clue that she's going there alive and will never come back. Imagine that. I'm saying to them. And I say, imagine thinking you're going to get better. And when you go, you get dead. And that's her. And that's many like her. And that could be us. Because we always think that we will not die. We have a long time to live. How long you live? Till you're dead. But live and enjoy every day as though it is your last. Becomes upset, angry, and holds Devaki and Vasudeva. And holding them, decides that he will behead Devaki. Vasudeva begins to beg. Vasudeva says, why will you want to behead my wife? It is the first day I'm married to her. Spare her, I'm begging you. And so, I'll make a vow. When the eighth child is born, we'll give you the eighth child. And you could do whatever it is you want with the eighth child. Because the eighth child will be the child to destroy you. And so becomes happy hearing this. But you know what happened? The happiness doesn't last for too long, you know. Because the kingdom is filled with peace and calm and everybody's enjoying life. And something happened. Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Om Jai Satguru Deva. Sing with me. Narayana Narayana Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Om Jai Satguru Deva. The palace is peaceful. Everybody is happy. And you know what happened? Out of nowhere, Narad Muni appeared. Narayan, 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 he appears. And as Narad Muni appears, Narad Muni comes. He say, hey, comes. Oh Mahapapi, oh great sinner, have you forgotten the words of the Akashvani? How you seem to be so calm. Don't you know the eighth child of Devaki will cause your death? And so comes now, he is reminded. Every time you hear of that, somebody else dying is a reminder for you that you'll die one day too. Do you know? What do we learn from that? You know what we should learn? We should learn to go in our wardrobe and wear your nice clothes. Because you can't hide from that, but you could use your things and enjoy it. Make yourself happy while you're alive. We learn that don't wait till your birthday to stick a cake. We learn don't wait on no special occasion to cook something special. You're alive and that's special enough. Enjoy existence. Can we do that? Well, we have started to do that. And everybody should do that. Enjoy your existence. Enjoy your short time because it is coming to a quick end. And so, Narad Muni, the celestial sage, he looks at comes. And I'll use you as the example. Put up the 8 fingers. Narad Muni says, comes, put up 8 fingers. And comes, puts up 8 fingers. Start to count from here. Which finger is the 8th finger? Start to check from there. Which finger is the eighth finger? Start to check from this thumb. Which one is the eighth finger? Now the president wouldn't feel too bad. And so, just as you got confused and you don't know which one is 8, if 1 is 8, 2 is 8, 8 is 8, 7 is 8, you don't know? Narad confused the mind of comes. It is easy for people to confuse us. I said in the yajna a few nights ago, and I will say for the rest of my life, everybody is free to have an opinion, everybody is free to advise you, but it is important for you to choose carefully the advice that you want to follow, because anything you allow to enter in you has a positive or a negative impact, not only on you but those around you as well, and you must make the intelligent choice. Comes now furious. You know what he does? He takes Devaki and Vasudeva and locks them in a prison cell too. Now Comes has the habit of locking people in a prison cell. Because you know why? He wants to be in charge. He wants to cheat his way into everything, even into living infinitely. And so as Devaki and Vasudeva, they are placed in a prison cell. Narad Muni appears again, and Narad Muni says, the Comes, he says, you think that prison good enough? You think that prison will really ensure that you have control? And then you know what Comes does? Comes goes back into the prison and he puts shackles on the hands and the legs of Devaki and Vasudeva. Now not only in a prison, they have shackles on their hand and their legs. Can you live with shackles on your hand and your legs? How comfortable will you be? Sometimes, I don't know if you have experienced this, but sometimes even the jewelry that we wear, after a while it becomes a burden. Though you're wearing it every day, you just feel as though you want to take it off. You don't want it. Have you ever experienced that? And so, Devaki and Vasudeva, they're shackled and imprisoned. Do you know how much of us we are shackled and imprisoned? Based on our own thoughts, based on the things we allow to penetrate into us. And so Devaki and Vasudeva trapped in this cell. What will happen? Devaki gives birth to her first child. These children that Devaki, she is giving birth to, these children were children in these were divine beings in their previous birth who were given a varadan, a gift that they will come to repay the debt of their karma. And so they will die and go back to Swarga. And they chose this. They chose this mode of dying because it would have been a quick mode. And so they would have gone back to Swarga in a quick time. And so they chose this. The ordinary mind says, well, why is it that the children, they're dying at birth? The ordinary mind says, this is cruel. But because of the Leela and how it has unfolded in the past, it determines what is happening now in the future. And so, comes to see the first child. You remember when the first baby was born? Muniland? When the first child was born, you remember when your mother come to see the baby and put the money in the baby hand and put on the little bearer and the little chain and say, oh God, your mother didn't like me, but your nose looking just like mine. And she say, in her mind, she said, take that. Because they say, the people you don't like when you're pregnant, the baby comes out identical to them. The baby behaves like them. And have you ever heard that before? And so, Comes is happy to see the baby. Comes, holds the baby. But you know, Ria, he doesn't hold the baby like a baby, you know. He holds the baby by the two legs and upside down. If somebody holds your newborn baby like that, how will you react? How will you react? I came just now and I saw the palna covered with a shawl, and I inquired, why is there a shawl over the palna? And they said to me, so no mosquito will bite the baby. And I started to laugh. But in time gone by, it is what we did for the babies. You put a net around the bed to make sure that no mosquito will go. And he was so protective of the child to make sure that the child was protected at all times. And so as he holds the child, he slams the child into the wall. He does this 1, 2, 3. But think about the pain of Devaki. Devaki who can't understand what is happening. It is a leela. It is a karma. But can't understand. We could never understand and appreciate what is happening at the moment. But when we sit and we analyze, everything happens for the best. Everything happens for the best. And when we sit down and we think that it happened for the greater good. And so Devaki, crying, Devaki begins to beg. And you know what she is saying? Listen to what Devaki is saying. Devaki is begging Bhagwan Vishnu. And Devaki begins to cry. आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका रे भगवान. Sing it, everybody. आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे. With all your love, everybody sing with me. Devaki is crying. How much more of this will I be able to tolerate? How much more of this pain and this hurt will I be able to tolerate? And while crying and praying, another child is born. And the same thing happens. And then Devaki and Vasudev goes to sleep. And in an illusion, in a dream, in a sapna, Bhagwan Vishnu appears to Devaki and Vasudev, and both of them, they're having the same dream. Do you think you're the only person who dreamt Lord Shiva? Do you think you're the only person who dreamt Mother Durga? Do you think you're the only person who dreamed you're driving a white bus? Do you think you're the only person who dreamed I'm playing a tabla? Huh? Do you think you're the only person who dreamt that you're a pilot on a plane? Huh? You know much thousands of people dream the same dream? But what do you do? How do you act? How do you respond to the dream? Because in every dream there is a lesson to be learned. In every dream, sometimes though it happened while you were unconscious and sleeping, it is to wake you up and make you conscious. But we ignore everything. The things that we are supposed to ignore, we put priority on. And the things that you're supposed to prioritize, we ignore. We treat it as though it is not important. And so Devaki and Vasudev having the same illusion, Bhagwan Vishnu says, prepare for me, I am coming. How will we prepare for God? If you had a dream that God was coming, how will you prepare for God? What will you do? Clean the house, change the curtain, paint over, make Persad. But you were doing all the physical things. What have you done to cleanse yourself to receive God? Did Baba say to you, fast? And you have to fast for 21 days. You say, 20, how much? Did they have a mantra we could use? I could drink some lime and water. That is got all kind of thing. You know, I don't need to fast. And you could justify every action that you have because you always have a solution. You think that you have a solution. And there is always something that you can use to shortcut everything. Bhagwan Vishnu says, prepare for me. How can they prepare? They're in a prison cell. They have shackles on their hands, shackles on their legs. How can they prepare? And he says, listen to my instruction. Listen to my instruction. I will appear in the dead of night in your prison cell. But when I come, the doors will open. The shackles will fall. But you must follow the instruction. Take me across the river Yamuna to the home of Nanda and Yashoda. And so in the cradle of Nanda and Yashoda, they will have a baby. Switch the baby. Switch the babies. And bring their baby back into the prison cell. And leave the rest up to me. There are many things better left in the care of Bhagwan God. There are many things we should leave in the care of God, knowing that we have no control over it. and knowing that we might never be able to change it. But Bhagwan, who is Mokam Karo Divachanam, the God who can make the impossible possible, will bring a result. Devaki and Vasudeva had the same dream. You ever tell somebody a dream and they say, hey, I dreamed something just like that? But you know, I might get in trouble for saying this, but in life, everything is a competition, even your dream. You tell them, I'm feeling over sick, and they say, well, I'm feeling sicker than you. You say, I'm feeling hungry, they say, I'm feeling hungrier than you. And everything is a competition, you know. Everything is a competition. Everything is turned into competition in life. They say, I buy a car, they say, well, I buy 2 cars. And everything is a competition. And so, Devaki and Vasudeva, they're given comfort. But Devaki is impregnated with the 7th child. And impregnated with the 7th child, what will happen? Lord Vishnu says, this fetus will be taken out of your womb and placed into the womb of Rohini Devi. And so it appeared as though the 7th child was a miscarriage. There was no child. And that's why Narad tried to confuse the mind of Kams, because the 7th child went missing. And so because the 7th child went missing, when the 8th child came, it appeared as though it was the 7th child. And so he couldn't figure out what was happening, if it was the 8th or if it was the 7th or what was happening. And now we understand why, with the checking. And so when the 8th child came, at midnight. At midnight, in the dead of night. And so as the child took appearance in the midnight, what will happen? The shackles from the hands and the legs of Devaki and Vasudeva fell. Devaki ripped a piece of her old sari that she was wearing and she wrapped the baby. In time gone by, all of us, I don't know about you, but our diaper was the bed sheet, you know. And not the new one, the old one. Huh? Tell your children these stories. Now is pull-ups, huh? Pull-ups with a tab that could tell you if the pamper needs changing. You don't even have to smell again or pull to see. There is a meter that tells you the pamper needs changing. You all know? Did you all know? Well, welcome to 2022. Just in case you didn't know. And now pull-ups is not only for the babies, it's for the lazy adults who don't want to go to the toilet. Because there are some people who have mobility and they could walk and they could do everything, and they just don't want to go. So as the prison doors open, the security guards fall asleep, Krishna remains quiet. He remains quiet. He doesn't cry at all. He remains quiet. There's some babies, they're just peaceful by nature. And there's some babies, well, you know, you have to take them for a ride to sleep. You sleeping too while you're driving. There's some babies, they will drink the bottle quietly and calm. There's some babies, you have to spin the bottle whole night for them to drink 1 ounce of milk. And so the temperament of the babies, the children, different, totally different. And so Devaki, she doesn't want to set him free. She doesn't want to let him go. But Devaki knows she has to follow the instructions. Vasudeva takes the roti basket and puts the baby in the basket like a cradle and put it on top his head. And Vasudeva marches. He is going across the river Yamuna to the home of Nanda and Yashoda, a place he has never been. You think he have a GPS? You think he could go and switch the car to get a working GPS? Huh? While crossing the river Yamuna, you know what happened? The Yamuna that has turned toxic because of all of those who are bathing in it and their sins. The Yamuna wanted to purify itself. And the Yamuna, the water started to rise. And the water reached to the nostrils of Vasudeva, about to drown him. Have you ever seen how the Ganga operate in India? In no time, the water level rises. And out of nowhere, if you don't move, you get gush away too. In no time, you have to move your clothes and move your belongings. And when I tell you in no time, I mean in no time, in mere minutes. If you are not mindful of what is happening, you're in trouble. And it happens unpredictable. You can't tell when it is going to happen. The Yamuna rises. And when Krishna recognizes what the Yamuna is trying to do, Krishna dips his foot out of the basket and touches the Yamuna. And just by his touch, the Yamuna becomes purified. And the Yamuna goes down. He goes across the river Yamuna to the home of Nanda and Yashoda. And he places Krishna there. And he takes up their baby and brings their baby back into the prison cell. But Devaki now, she's looking at the baby, is not her baby. She's analyzing the baby and she realizes this is not a boy, this is a girl. And Devaki now, she's worried. She's worried. She looks at the little baby girl and she says, please, I am begging you, don't cry. When you tell the child, don't go, what the child does? When you tell the child, sit down quiet, what does the child do? When you tell the child, behave yourself, or else, what the child does? When you tell the child, I'm buying a toy for you, but for $5, what the child does? You can't dictate to the children. You have to allow the children to be. Discipline happens at home, not in the public. Train your children at home, quietly. That's when discipline happens. And so, the baby girl begins not to cry. She begins to scream. And as she begins to scream, the first man to get up is you know who? Not even the security guard outside the door get up, but comes quite up in his chamber. Because you know why? The echo of the crying and the power. The child crying and the mother is able to tell. She said that is a dollar cry. The child crying, the mother said that is a pampa cry. The child crying, the mother said that is a milk cry. See, the mother is able to tell just by the tone in which the child is crying. And so, rushes down in the prison cell. The Devatas in the heavens, they're looking at the Leela, seeing what is happening. And the Devatas begin to sing. You know what they're singing? The Devatas look down. Suno mere Devi Parvat Vasini, Tera Paran Paya, Tera Paran Paya.
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पारन पाया तेरा पारन पाया
बोलो सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पारन पाया तेरा पारन पाया
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी तेरा पारन पाया तेरा पारन पाया
Comes down to the prison cell. And looks at Devaki, and Devaki say, I want to tell you, all the other children were boys, but this one is a girl. Says, well, I want to see her. And Devaki says, please, I am begging you, do not destroy her. What harm can a girl cause you? What harm can a girl cause? I can't say too much because I'm outnumbered by ladies, but the female species is the most persuasive species that God has created. And that's a fact. It is the truth. It is the truth. Isn't it? Isn't that the truth, Jagannath? Jagannath, is that true? Don't answer, boy. Don't answer nothing I ask. But as holds the baby, admires the beauty of the child, but the ego in him doesn't permit him to be forgiving, loving, caring, kind, compassionate, peaceful. The ego will never allow any of those qualities to shine. And so comes, holds the baby upside it down. But as comes, slams the baby. You know what happened? The baby has so much power. She has so much strength that she flings out of the hand of comes. And she appears as Yog Maya, Devi Mata herself. And as Yog Maya stands tall in the prison cell, what do you think comes reaction will be? How you think Comes will react to this whole thing? Comes who is afraid to death, now God is standing in front of him. How you think he'll react? But you see the ego. The ego again. Comes is seeing the Devi in front of him, and instead of bowing to the Devi, or making himself humble, or trying to make peace, or trying to bring some kind of resolve, comes the ego standing in front of the Devi. Yog Maya having all of these weapons in her hand. The Devatas seeing her. They don't know what she's going to say, or how she's going to say what she's going to say. Can you tell what I'm going to say? Can you tell what I'm going to say? Can you tell what she wants to say? Sometimes, but not all the time. You'll never be able to tell all the time. Have you ever said the same thing somebody else said at the same time, and you wondered, what kind of magic is this? How come we said the same thing using the same words? And so Devaki, looking at the Leela, the Devatas in the heavens changed their song. And you know what they're singing? Seeing Yog Maya standing there tall with all of these weapons, they begin to eulogize Yog Maya. Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi.
Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi.
Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi.
Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi.
Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi. Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi.
Jagadamba Devi, Jagadamba Devi, Jai 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 Jagadamba Devi.
Yog Maya smiles looking and comes, and she says, oh Papi. She's calling him Papi too. Papi means what again? Don't call nobody Papi. Never call anybody Papi, not even your father. Papi is not even something that you should call somebody in joke. Call me Papi. But don't call anybody Papi. Papi means great sinner. And so she says, oh Papi, don't you know? The child to destroy you is already born and in a safe place. I am not that child. Comes, goes back upstairs in his bed and cover up himself. Because he can't comprehend what has just happened. Something ever happened to you and it get you confused? And you don't know what is happening? Or what really happened? Sometimes things happen and you look at and you say, what really happened there? How that happened? I never forget, one Christmas evening we were sitting on a table there and we made one phone call that was a joke, and I could never understand the reaction that came out of that. I sat down by the table and there were ribbons that came from chocolates, and so nervous and frightened I became of what had transpired. I started tying all like Raksha and I made a mala. And I said to myself, only if there is a resolve to this problem, then I will loose them out one by one. But until that time, I'll keep them tied. And I hanged it in the van, on the dashboard like a mala, to remind me that I have to find some kind of resolve. And only when the resolve came, a few months ago, I said to Bunny, let's throw this out of the van. I said, loose them, one by one. And now you understand why you loose them. And he said, what you do? You do some kind of juju? Why did you tie up this? But I tied that in frustration, and that's why I ask you to loose everyone before we disposed of it. Comes. goes in his bed and he covers up. And comes now wonders, what will be plan B? What will I now do? Across the river Yamuna, in the home of Nanda and Yashoda, Cindy, they put a baby girl to sleep. And when they get up, is a baby boy. Yashoda, who had already said to everybody, we have a daughter. Now she has to say, we have a. Everybody is confused, and now because there is confusion, they want to see. You ever hear about something and you want to see? Because you're here? Huh? That's how your mind is, you know. Your mind here, plenty for 20. You don't know where it is, you know, but you're going to see. You walk with your 20 and you're going to see. Just in case it applies to your needs. And so comes, he is plotting in his mind what he will do. And across the river Yamuna, they're singing something else. You know what they're singing? Jule jule palena, jule jule palena, Yashoda julave lalena.
Jule jule palena, jule jule palena, Yashoda julave lalena.
Jule jule palena, jule jule palena, Yashoda julave lalena.
Jule jule palena, jule jule palena, Yashoda julave lalena.
They're going to shake the palna. But you know why they're going to shake the palna? They're not going to shake the palna because they're happy that Yashoda has a baby, you know. They want to see. That's why they're going to shake the palna. When you went to a wedding in time gone by, you went there with the intention to see what the bride was wearing. True or not? Talk the truth. Huh? That's what everybody going for. To see what the bride will wear and to see who is the boy she getting married to. What he look like. If his nose like a kochori, if his head shaped square, they want to see. Because she's so prim and proper, they want to see what is happening. That's why they went. And so going and shaking the palna, they all taking turns, but they want to see the baby. And so seeing the baby, every being who goes to the palna, Krishna smile with them. How you feel when the little baby smile with you? I want to tell you. When a baby smiles with you, because that is a pure smile, you feel a joy in your heart. True or not? There is a different joy that comes from deep down inside of you when the little child watches you and smiles. In the airport, a little child looked at Cindy and smiled. And she said, look at that pretty baby. Remember that? That's when I lost my phone. Look at the pretty baby, because I was looking at the baby and not minding my business. But the purity in the smile of the child mesmerizes anything and everybody. And so, as the child smiles, everybody shake the palna and they go. Yashoda is happy, she's elated. And Yashoda don't have too much work because everybody's shaking the palna and everybody has the child occupied and Yashoda is getting time for herself. Huh? And now across the river Yamuna, in the Mahal of Kans, Kans has summoned somebody. Who is he going to call? Putna. Remember Putna? Putna is a she demon. A she demon. And why is she called a she demon? Is because she has the structure of a demon. A demon is a male, right? She has the power and the structure of a male, but is a she, a female. Huh? And so she's a she demon. And so Putna comes and explains. The child to destroy me comes reading word for word what Yogmaya said. The child to destroy me is already born and in a safe place. Putna, help me. Save me, Putna. Do something. And Putna, hearing this, Putna says, comes, don't worry, I will help you. Somebody ever tell you, don't worry, I will help you. And that is when you better start to worry, take 2 Panadol and 4 calms. Because you don't know what kind of help you're going to get. And so, Putna changes her roop, her form, and she takes on a beautiful form. And she's looking like a princess. There's some people when they flat iron their hair and they put on extensions on their eye and their lipstick and their powder and they fix up their nails and you look at them, you say, Papa, huh? Is that the same person? You can't believe it's the same person. They say my name is no longer Cheryl, it's Cheryl. Huh? Because you can't believe it's the same person. Transformation has happened. In life, it is important for all of us to transform from time to time. To transform the way we think, the way we behave, the way we react. It is important for us to grow in a positive way. And it only happens when change begins. And change has to begin with you. Change has to begin in your mind first. And so you must be open to change. And so, Putna taking on this beautiful disguise. Putna, she's going door to door and she's knocking. And you know what Putna looking for? Newborn baby. Listen to what she's looking for. Newborn babies. And every newborn baby she finds, Putna says, can I see the baby? Kuchi kuchi ku. Putna puts some poison on her breast and she's breastfeeding all of the babies and she's giving them poison. But then word reaches to the ears of Putna. And you know what Putna hear? Putna hear across the river Yamuna, in the home of Nanda and Yashoda, there is a special baby. You ever hear about a special baby before? Some mothers say, Baba, my child special, he born upside down, he could jar a hook. You ever hear that? Special, born upside down. You all ever hear that before? Oh, you have to be old like me to know that. Ria is looking confused. Ria, I'll tell you. The child that is born breeched with foot first, because some children are born foot first, like me, and you're blessed with a vardhan. You're blessed with a gift that if anybody has pain and you're able to jari and touch them and their pain goes away. And it is proven that it works. So, Putna now, she decides to go across the river Yamuna. Now look how strange life is. Lankini, look how strange life is. Life is so strange. Listen to how. When Vasudeva, who was doing something good, was crossing the river almost drowned him. But Putna, who is going with the intention of killing and destroying, going to cross the same river, and nothing happened. Nothing is happening to Putna. The river refused to even flow when Putna coming, because you know why? Putna is sin itself. The ordinary mind will say, well then why the river didn't drown Putna? Huh? Because the river had the power to do that. But Putna was not deserving of that. We only get what we are deserving of. Do you believe that? We're deserving of sitting here to listen to the katha. We're deserving of that. That's why we're here, Because our name was written. We're deserving of that. Based on our karma. The people who are listening at home and looking on, they're deserving of that. Because their good punya has permitted that. But when Putna reached across the river Yamuna, you know what happened? Could you remember in the Bhagavad? I told you. Putna hid behind a tree and she's observing the movements of Yashoda and what is happening, because it's a new place. She doesn't know what is happening. When you go to a new place, you don't know what is happening. You don't know you don't know. But after a few days, what happens? It becomes very familiar. You know where to go, how to go, what to do, where to find food, you know everything. And then when you know everything, time to leave. Putna, she notices that Yashoda is sweeping. And seeing Yashoda sweeping, Krishna knows that Putna is already there. Krishna begins to cry, but no ordinary cry. Screaming cry. And so as Yashoda is holding the broom and holding the baby, she's trying to sweep now while holding the child. Have you ever tried to do the chore while holding the baby? Huh? And so holding the child, she's trying to do the chore. And Putna said, this is the time. Putna goes and she looks at Yashoda and she says, oh, Mata Yashoda. She's calling her Mata. Mata Yashoda. Can I hold the baby for you while you're doing your work? And she's glad to get some help. So she gives the baby. And Putna looked down at the baby. And looking at the baby, Putna said, Kuchi, Kuchi, go. The day is the end for you. And the baby look at Putna and say, try me. I'm waiting for you. The day is not my end. Today is your end, Putna. What you might be planning for somebody else might be yours. The gift that you're giving today might be what you will enjoy tomorrow. And when the opportunity comes to give and to do, and try to do the best that you can and do it out of purity, because tomorrow that might be the fruit that you're eating and enjoying. Always remember that. And so as Putna holds the baby, Krishna is looking at her and smiling endlessly. Endlessly. And Putna takes her breast and she places it in the mouth of Krishna. And Krishna begins to laugh. He's giggling. And Putna is saying, don't giggle, drink. And he's saying, give me a chance now. I'll drink slowly. Huh? You want to force the baby to drink the milk. So you're shaking up the bottle and spinning it all how? Because you want the baby to drink. Because you want to sleep now. And so Putna says, drink now. And in his mind he's saying, okay now. And he drinks. And you know what he's drinking? He's drinking the very life out of Putna. A mother. The bhajan says, you know what the bhajan says? Mata putra se pyar piya hai jitna kaun karega itna kaun karega itna. The bhajan says, nobody in this world could love a child more than a mother. But there are mothers and mothers, huh? There are mothers who will go to the end of the world for their children. And there are mothers who will pull the baby in a garbage bag and put it under a tree somewhere. Leave the baby on a step somewhere. Because you know why? They don't know anything about being a mother. Because they are still children. They don't know anything about life and existence. So how will they be a mother? How can they begin to be mothers? And so drinking the life out of Putna, Putna begins to scream in pain because her life is coming out. And as Putna screams in pain, the body of Putna falls to the ground, but she's not looking pretty, you know. She looks like the demon that she is. You ever go to a funeral and see somebody and you say, oh God, they look like they're sleeping. Huh? Look like they'll get up anytime and talk. And you ever go and see somebody and you say, oh God, how he looks so dead. He looked real dead. I get frightened when I see him. You ever get frightened? Huh? And so Putna, Yashoda, hearing the scream, she rushes and she grabs her baby Krishna. But the soul of Putna bows to Krishna and says, Krishna, you have liberated me out of my shrap, my curse. Because even Putna had a curse. Do you have a curse? 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 I didn't ask if you know the curse, you know. Do you believe you have a curse? Well, get that thought out of your mind. Because you're too blessed to be cursed. You're too blessed to be cursed. And your blessing is never what you think it is. And your blessing will never be enough for you, because you know why? The ego never permits us to be contented. We're never grateful for what we have because we think of what we could have and we never enjoy what we have. But there are people who are dying to have what we have and to be in the position that we are in, and wishing and praying, and you're in that position and you nothing. It's nothing. Huh? It's like nothing. And so news reaches to the ears of Comes that Putna has died. How you think Comes will feel? And Comes hears that a baby caused the death of Putna. How you think Comes will react to that? Krishna quickly grows, and he is growing into childhood. But not only Comes is envious of Krishna, you know. You know who else is envious? Indra, the god of the heavens. Indra seeing Krishna down on earth, Indra becomes envious. And Indra say, you know what? I'm going down there to test him. To see if he is really Krishna or Vishnu or who he is. I'm going to test him. You know much people try to test us? You know much people go up competition with us? You in the competition and you even know. They competing with you and you have no clue. And after you take stock and you realize what is happening, you say, but there was a competition and I didn't even know. Indradev came. Krishna and his friends, they're looking after the cows. And you know what Indradev does? Indradev locks away all the cows and all of Krishna's friends in a cave. And locking them away, Krishna gets up from his sleep. And Krishna is looking everywhere for them. Well, it appears as though he's looking everywhere for them. But Krishna already knows what Indra has done. And Krishna creates an illusion. And creating this illusion, he places it in such a way that Indra, all he's seeing is this cave that he created. And Krishna already took out his cow and all Indra is seeing is this image. When Indra wakes up and he recognizes what has happened, he goes and he bows to the feet of Krishna, recognizing that Krishna is pure. When you are pure, people couldn't try. But Bhagwan will never allow them to succeed. Always remember that. Across River Yamuna, festivities they are happening. Because you know why? Everybody is happy. Krishna is born. Sintra is going to sing for us this beautiful rendition depicting the birth of Lord Krishna. While she's doing this, we wash our hands and we prepare for the puja. And so, Krishna ki palna julave nandarani.
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 Julave nandarani, 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 julave nandarani. Krishna ki palna julave nandarani.
Krishna ki palna julave nandarani.
पलना झुलावे गीत सुनावे.
पलना झुलावे गीत सुनावे.
पलना झुलावे गीत सुनावे.
पलना झुलावे गीत सुनावे. मुक्ति करो आनंद बनवारी. कृष्णा की पलना झुलावे नंदरानी.
कृष्णा की पलना झुलावे नंदरानी.
कृष्णा की पलना झुलावे नंदरानी.
Krishna ki palna julave nandarani. When you walk in here, are you not forced to hum something or sing something? Then when we are shaking the palna of Krishna, you are forced to sing some kind of something. Because you know that is what is recommended, isn't it? When Auntie Angie walks into the puja room, she begins to sing immediately. She sings. Actually, and even if somebody else is singing, she don't really give them too much of a chance. She sings too, louder than them. You swear she have a mic, a built-in one. Because she knows that is what is required. That is what is recommended. And by doing this, she's erasing her pap, her sin. When we get the opportunity to sing and to be a part of worship, grab hold of it. Embrace it. Let's take the flowers in our hands. Let us pray to Bhagwan this evening. Hari Om Sri Ganesha Namah Sri Saraswate Namah Sri Guru Charana Kamanebhyo Govinda Namo Namah Viganeshwaraya Varadaya Surapraya Lambhodaraya Sakalaya Jagathitaya Naga Srutekya Vibhushita Gauri Sutaya Gananath Namo Namaste Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Everybody, Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
वृंदावन मेरे लाल की जय। We offer the flowers. मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनो हरि। नीपज्योतिर्पर ब्रह्मा नीपज्योतिर्जनाठर नीपो हरत मे पापम नीपोऽयं प्रतिग्रहीतां। शुभं करोतु कल्याणम् आरोग्यं सुखसम्परं मम शत्रु विनाशाय नीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते। We offer flowers around. सिद्धि बुद्धि प्रदे देवी भुक्ति मुक्ति प्रदायिनी मंत्रमूर्ति सदा देवी महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते। माँ लक्ष्मी च विद्महि विष्णु पत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो भगवते प्रचोदयात्। We offer water, स्नान, washing the feet of Bhagwan Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate वासुदेवाय। स्नानं समर्पयामि पंचामृत। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। पंचामृत स्नानं समर्पयामि। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। वाटर। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। वस्त्रदान, we offer clothing. वेद सुक्तं स्वायुक्तं यज्ञशामा समन्विते सर्वे प्रदे देवा वाससे प्रतिगृहीताम्। ओम श्री विष्णवे नमः। वस्त्रदानं समर्पयामि। यज्ञोपवीत। ओम जनेऊ, may you wrap your protective shield around us. यज्ञोपवीतं परमं पवित्रं स्थापितं पुरुषं तदन्यायुष्मुग्रं प्रतिमुंशु शुभ्रं यज्ञोपवीतं परमस्तु तेज त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दना मृत्युर्मोक्षमामृतात्। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। चंदन, परफ्यूम। ओम चंदनं समर्पयामि। गन्धदानं समर्पयामि। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। परिमल द्रव्याणवा, we offer the hardi for purification. ओम हरिद्राय सर्वसौभाग्यराणि सर्वालंकार मुक्तामि देवी त्वं प्रतिगृहीतां। हरिद्रदानं समर्पयामि। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो
सिन्दूरं समर्पयामि।
वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
दुर्बदानं समर्पयामि। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। बेलपत्रं समर्पयामि। ओम श्री काशीवासी शिवासिनीं कालभैरव पूजाटं कोटिकन्या महादानं बेलपत्र शिवार्पणं तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय तन्नो रुद्र प्रचोदयात्। बेलपत्र शिवरपरं बेलपत्रं समर्पयामि। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। अम्बे अम्बिके अम्बालिके नमान्यति कश्चन सहस्रभद्रकामपीलसभद्रकामपीलवासिनीं। नमो दिप्ये महादिप्ये शिवाय सततं नमः। नमो प्रकृति भद्राय नियतां स्वनतां स्मितां। Through these days we are full of bitterness, sickness and distresses. May you be pleased with us, we beg of you. Jayanti Kali Mangala Kali Bhadra Kali Kapalini Durga Kshama Shiva Datri Swaha Swadha Namostute. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We wave the arti. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo
भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Hari Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Ballavam Janaki Nayakam Ramachandra Bhaje. Achyutam Keshavam Ramanarayanam Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Hari Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Ballavam Janaki Nayakam Ramachandra Bhaje. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Sridharam Madhavam Gopika Ballavam Janaki Nayakam Ramachandra Bhaje. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Govinda Hare, Gopal Hare, He Gopi Gopi Bala. Govinda Hare, Gopal Hare, He Murali Gaane Lola.
Govinda Hare, Gopal Hare, गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे मुरली राग लोला।
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला।
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला।
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला।
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला, जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला।
चित चोदा यशोदा की माँ, नवनीत चोरे गोपाल।
चित चोरा यशोदा की माँ, नवनीत चोर गोपाल।
चित चोदा यशोदा की माँ, नवनीत चोरे गोपाल।
चित चोरा यशोदा की माँ, नवनीत चोर गोपाल।
दुष्ट कंसः कह पापा रे कर कमलः फूलः डाटा। कलयुग नाथ देहि बकारे, चनचित दे कर युग पटापी। कर गोपी संगाराश्चैया, सब कह पूर्वक रे अभिलाषा। अगणित महासुर संभावे, कंस हरि कर प्रचन हावे। मात पिता को भांडे चाओ, उग्रसेन कह राज ध्यायो। यम कह मृत्य चरण स्तुति, माता देव की शोकमिते। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नरकासुर मुनि कह संहारी, नतक सत्य सत्य पावे। कुमार का देय धारा, जेकर भिन्नता रक्षा हमारा। असुरा भाका सूर निकारे, नित कह भक्त कष्ट निपावे। देह सुदामा दुख त्रैलोका, तू ही मुक्ति देहि द्वारा। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। प्रेम कसंग विदुरह देगी, दुर्योधन का मेवक देगी। लकी का लेकर माटा भारी, नवमी शाम हरे हितकारी। भक्तन प्रार्थना रागे दीनु, देकर शंख चक्र कर दीनु। शंख चक्र कर परमा देहि, अंतरेक कर नाथ हरे। निज कह गीता ज्ञान सुनाए, भक्त हृदय सुनहि संभाए। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। निज कह माया विनती देखो, तुम संसार शक्ति का में तो। देकर सन्निधि का ताका, जीवन मुक्त हरे दाता। द्रौपदी का रक्ष तुम्हारे, देकर भक्त नंदलालाई। नंदलाल का मीरो माई, चीर समुंदर ने कहला को। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते। नरकासुर का नहीं पाया, जम कह बेर न पान न पाया। देकर धारा कृष्णा भोले, देकर नाथ हरि भोले। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते कृष्ण चंद्र नाम हसे ही। देकर घट का घी कर दे, तनक तक प्रता कर होई। रोग दोष का नहीं कर पाऊ, देकर दे नाथ पुकारा, धन्य विजय का भक्ति धारा, विद का सूच सूच संभावे, देकर कृष्णा पाठ सुनावे, अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के पल्ला, एक प्राण का नेही डाटा। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते। May you accept our Persad, O Bhagavan Krishna. We have prepared this Persad with faith, with love and with conviction. Holding this Persad in our hand, close to our heart with love and conviction. We give thanks for all that you have bestowed upon us. May you be pleased with us, O Bhagavan. May you be pleased with us. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Shantakaram Bhujagajainam Parmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagan Sarvisham Meghavarnam Subhakyam Lakshmikantam Kamananenam Yogi Vrinyanamanyam Vande Vishnu Bhave Haranam Sarvaloke Kanatam Naivedam Nivedyami Naivedam Samarpyami. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
We have a
Bhagavate
supari, we have a globe.
Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Tambulam Tambulam Samarpyami. Tambulam Tambulam Prati Gretam. Narayanaaya Vidme Vasudevaya Tanno Vishnu Prachodayat. We offer Achman water. Om Gangeshaya Muneshaya Guravani Saraswati Narmada Sindhu Kaveri. Achmanam Prati Gretam Achmanam Samarpayami. We offer Dakshina. Hiranya Gharva Smartitagre Bhutasya Jata Vtikasi Saradharam Prithivino Dakshina Danam Maham Karikshe Shukla Shukla Maharodre Mahashakte Mahodare Ma Papa Hare Devi Mahalakshmi Namostute Svet Bhadane Devi Nana Lankarvu Svetani Jagat Stute Jaganmata Mahalakshmi Namostute Mahalakshmi Namostute Dakshina Danam Samarpyami. We offer flowers. We offer the mala. We decorate the altar as beautiful as we can. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Krishna Kanaiya Krishna Kanaiya 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 Re.
Krishna Kanhaiya, Krishna Kanhaiya, 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 Kanhaiya Re.
Krishna Kanaiya Krishna Kanaiya 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 Re.
Krishna Kanhaiya, कृष्ण कन्हैया 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 रे।
पराजित चोरा वृंदावन संसारा गोपाला गोपाला हे मुरली गोपाला।
पराजित चोरा वृंदावन संसारा गोपाला गोपाला हे मुरली गोपाला।
पराजित चोरा वृंदावन संसारा गोपाला गोपाला हे मुरली गोपाला।
पराजित चोरा वृंदावन संसारा गोपाला गोपाला हे मुरली गोपाला। गोविंद गोपाल नाचो गोपाला।
गोविंद गोपाल नाचो गोपाला।
गोविंद गोपाल नाचो गोपाला।
गोविंद गोपाल नाचो गोपाला।
नाचो नाचो साई नंद लाला। पराजित चोरा वृंदावन संसारा गोपाला गोपाला मुरली गोपाला।
पराजित चोरा वृंदावन संसारा गोपाला गोपाला हे मुरली गोपाला।
पराजित चोरा वृंदावन संसारा गोपाला गोपाला हे मुरली गोपाला।
पराजित चोरा वृंदावन संसारा गोपाला गोपाला हे मुरली गोपाला।
हे नंद नंद गोपाल आनंद नंद गोपाल।
आनंद नंद गोपाल।
हे नंद नंद गोपाल 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 आनंद नंद गोपाल।
हे नंद नंद आनंद नंद यदुनंद नंद गोपाल।
हे नंद नंद आनंद नंद यदुनंद नंद गोपाल।
हे नंद नंद गोपाल आनंद 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 नंद गोपाल।
हे नंद नंद आनंद नंद यदुनंद नंद गोपाल।
हे नंद नंद आनंद नंद यदुनंद नंद गोपाल।
हे नंद नंद गोपाल आनंद नंद गोपाल।
हे नंद नंद गोपाल आनंद नंद गोपाल।
गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे गोपी गोपी बाला। गोविंद हरे गोपाल हरे हे मुरली ज्ञान लोला।
गोविंद हरि गोपाल हरि हे गोपी गोपी बाला। गोविंद हरि गोपाल हरि हे मुरली गान लोला।
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला। जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला। यशोदा यशोदा की माँ नवनीत चोर गोपाल
चित चोरा यशोदा की बाल नवनीत चोर गोपाल
गोपाल गोपाल
गोपाल गोपाल
गोपाल गोपाल
गोपाल गोपाल जय जय गिरिधर धन गोपाल
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला
जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला जय जय गिरिधर गोपाला
राधे गोविंद गोपाला जय गोविंद राधे 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 गोपाला
कृष्णा मधुसूदना मधुसूदना कृष्णा
कृष्णा मधुसूदना मधुसूदना कृष्णा
कृष्णा मधुसूदना मधुसूदना कृष्णा
कृष्णा मधुसूदना मधुसूदना कृष्णा
गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला
बोलो गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला
साई गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला
साई गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला
राधे गोविंद गोपाला जय गोविंद राधे गोपाला
राधे गोविंद गोपाला जय गोविंद राधे गोपाला
कृष्णा मधुसूदना मधुसूदना कृष्णा
कृष्णा मधुसूदना मधुसूदना कृष्णा
कृष्णा मधुसूदना मधुसूदना कृष्णा
कृष्णा मधुसूदना मधुसूदना कृष्णा
गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला
बोलो गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला
साई गोविंद गोविंद गोपाला
साई गोविंद
बोलो।
गोविंद गोपाला
राधे गोविंद गोपाला जय गोविंद राधे गोपाला
राधे गोविंद गोपाला
हरि बोल।
जय गोविंद राधे गोपाला
राधे गोविंद गोपाला जय गोविंद राधे गोपाला
राधे गोविंद गोपाला जय गोविंद राधे गोपाला
ओम नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात् कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः गीता गंगा गात्री सीता सत्य सरस्वती ब्रह्मा विद्या ब्रह्मामरी त्रिसंध्या मुक्तिगैरी अर्कमाता चिदानंदा भवगनी बेनाशिनी वेदत्रय परानंदा तत्त्वर्थ ज्ञानमंजली यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानं धर्मस्य तदात्मानं स्मराम्यहम् परित्रणाय साधूनां विनाशाय सदुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
O Bhagwan Krishna, as the world has welcomed your appearance, this evening we bow at your lotus-like feet with conviction in our hearts, asking that just as you have appeared in the prison cell of Devaki and Vasudev to bring comfort, may you appear into our lives. May you ward away the darkness of anger and hate and all the negative tendencies and qualities. We beg of you, Bhagwan Krishna. May you liberate the souls of our Pitras. Wherever their souls may be, may their souls enjoy bliss and happiness. And may you prepare us for when that time will come, when our soul too will make its journey. But O Paramatma, this evening as we welcome you, we have prepared this place on the altar of our hearts. Please come and sit. Ever be present with us.
मने तुम्हें गोविंद गोविंद बोलो।
मने तुम गोविंद गोविंद बोलो।
मने तुम्हें गोविंद गोविंद बोलो।
मने तुम गोविंद गोविंद बोलो।
गोविंद 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 बोलो।
गोविंद 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 बोलो।
गोविंद 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 बोलो।
गोविंद 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 बोलो।
मने तुम्हें गोविंद गोविंद बोलो।
मने तुम गोविंद गोविंद बोलो।
मने तुम्हें गोविंद गोविंद बोलो।
मने तुम गोविंद गोविंद बोलो।
केशवा माधवा जय देवा मधुसूदना।
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 वृंदावन में लाल की जय। विषय पन्ना झूले झूले पलना झूले झूले पलना यशोदा झूलावे नंदना।
झूले झूले पलना झूले झूले पलना यशोदा झूलावे ललना।
झूले झूले पलना झूले झूले पलना यशोदा झूलावे नंदना।
झूले झूले पलना झूले झूले पलना यशोदा झूलावे ललना।
So now, we make our way to the Hawan as we make the oblation into the sacred fire.
कृष्णा की पलना झूलावे नंदरानी।
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 झुलावे नंद रानी झुलावे नंद रानी
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 झुलावे नंद रानी झुलावे नंद रानी कृष्णा की पलना झुलावे नंद रानी
कृष्णा की भला झुलावे नंद रानी
कृष्णा की पलना झुलावे नंद रानी
कृष्णा की भला झुलावे नंद रानी
पलना झुलावे गीत सुनावे
भला झुलावे गीत सुनावे
पलना झुलावे गीत सुनावे
भला झुलावे गीत सुनावे मुक्ति करो आनंद बनवानी कृष्णा की भला झुलावे नंद रानी
झूले झुलावे ब्रिज बाला झूले झुलावे ब्रिज बाला झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला झूले नंद लाला
लाला झूले गोपाला
झूले झुलावे ब्रिज बाला
झूले नंद गावे ब्रिज बाला
झूले झुलावे ब्रिज बाला
झूले झुलावे ब्रिज बाला
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला
रेशम की डोरी झुलावे यशोदा
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 आरती उतारे ब्रिज बाला
आरती उतारे ब्रिज बाला
आरती उतारे ब्रिज बाला
आरती उतारे ब्रिज बाला
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला
झूले झुलावे ब्रिज बाला
झूले झुलावे ब्रिज बाला
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला
माता यशोदा गीत सुनावे
माता यशोदा गीत सुनावे
माता यशोदा गीत सुनावे
माता यशोदा गीत सुनावे
आरती उतारे ब्रिज बाला
आरती उतारे ब्रिज बाला
आरती उतारे ब्रिज बाला
आरती उतारे ब्रिज बाला
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला
झूले झुलावे ब्रिज बाला
झूले झुलावे ब्रिज बाला
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला
माता यशोदा गीत सुनावे
माता यशोदा गीत सुनावे
माता यशोदा गीत सुनावे
माता यशोदा गीत सुनावे
आरती उतारे ब्रिज बाला
आरती उतारे ब्रिज बाला
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला
झूले झुलावे ब्रिज बाला
झूले झुलावे ब्रिज बाला
झूले झुलावे ब्रिज बाला
झूले झुलावे ब्रिज बाला
झूले नंद लाला झूले गोपाला
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 समायुक्तं सुगन्धिं निर्मलं जलं माच्मनिमयानित्यक्रियाणां परमेश्वर पापोऽहं पापकर्मां पापात्मां पुण्डरीकाक्ष त्राहि मां पुण्डरीकाक्ष सर्वपापहरो हरि ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् स्वाहा इदं गात्रे इदं नाम मम ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् इदं गात्रे इदं नाम मम ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् इदं गात्रे इदं नाम मम. The enough thadis for the children to come around. Let them come. Om Shri Paramatmane Namah. We put your nations into the fire. Let's all chant. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय 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 5 shares now. ओम नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात् ओम सर्वदेवी सर्वदेवताय नमः ओम ब्रह्मा मुरारी सुरंतकारी भानु शशि भूमि स्टोरस्य गुरु शुक्र शनि राहु केतु सर्वे ग्रह शांतिकारा भवन्तु ओम श्री विष्णवे नमः सर्वदेवी सर्वदेवताय नमः करो हो जाए पूर्णाहुति लीजिए let us all please stand for the पूर्णाहुति ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते सर्वं वे पूर्णागुं स्वाहा आचमनम्यादत्त गृहाणा परमेश्वर आचमनम्यादत्त गृहाणा परमेश्वरम धूपम we find the smoke in all directions वनस्पतिर सुरभूतो गंधार्यो गणरूतमाग्रे सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं व्रते ग्रेतां we all bow अनलाणमा 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 आरती जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे
जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे
जब चांद तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो
जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो
और कोई न केवन हारा हो तेरे तो ही बेड़ा पार करो जय 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 कृष्ण हरे
जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे
तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे इसको भी अमृत कर दे
तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे इसको भी अमृत कर दे
पूरन करने सबकी आशा
पूरन कर दे सबकी आशा
जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे फिर जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे
जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे
तेरा दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरा नाम ही माला जपते रहूं।
तेरा दर्शन को मैं तरस रहा, तेरा नाम भी माला जपती रहो।
भवसागर में तेरी नैया,
भवसागर में तेरी नैया,
जन्मी जाएगी ना रहूं, तेरे जन्मी जाएगी ना रहूं। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे,
जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे।
नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम। जय सद्गुरुदेवा,
नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम। जय सद्गुरुदेवा,
नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम। जय सद्गुरुदेवा,
नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम, नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम। जय सद्गुरुदेवा, जय सद्गुरुदेवा, जय सद्गुरुदेवा, जय सद्गुरुदेवा।
नारायण नारायण जय गोविंद हरे, नारायण श्री नारायण जय गोपाल हरे।
नारायण नारायण जय गोविंद हरे, नारायण श्री नारायण जय गोपाल हरे।
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय। मंत्रहीनं ग्रहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दन, यत्पूजितं म्याणीवा परिपूर्णं तरस्तमे। त्वमेव माता स पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। आओ कन्हैया मेरे पास आओ, आओ मुरली वाली मुरलियाँ बजाओ। आओ कन्हैया मेरे पास आओ, आओ मुरली वाली
मुरलिया बजाओ, आओ कन्हैया, कृष्ण कन्हैया, बंसी बजैया, कृष्ण कन्हैया,
बंसी बजैया।
श्याम मुरारी कुंज बिहारी, श्याम मुरारी कुंज बिहारी, यशोदा की नंदन भव वंदन, यशोदा की नंदन भव वंदन, आओ मुरलीवानी मुरलिया बजाओ, आओ कन्हैया, आओ कन्हैया, आओ कन्हैया। उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, अयोध्या राम लला की जय, वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र की जय, ओरेसा जगन्नाथ की जय। बोलो मैं सब संतन की, सत्य सनातन धर्म की, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की। सीताराम 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 कहे, चाहे विधि रखे रामा, चाहे विधि रखे रामा, चाहे विधि
रहिए। सीताराम सीताराम
सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम सीताराम। सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। Tadi Chanda, God bless you. May Bhagwan Krishna bless you now and always.